Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. If you're watching this video and it's salah time, please pause it and go pray and come back when you're done. Please excuse the change of background and any background noise as I am currently on vacation with my family. A channel member sent me a clip of a conservative female commentator, Candace Owens, discussing the circumstances of whether abortions should or shouldn't take place with a niqabi sister. The Muslim sister, despite being dressed very Islamically, was surprisingly more liberal in her views because she said she was neutral on the matter of abortion. To be fair, she did speak from a somewhat Islamic perspective, but I felt she should have mentioned the Islamic ruling on the matter specifically. The sister pointed out that under the circumstances of a haram relationship or a man physically forcing himself upon a woman, that abortion should be permitted. However, Candace disagreed. Candace's stance on the issue was more Islamic than the Muslim women's when it came to haram relationships, as an abortion is totally forbidden in Islam, even if it is the result of a promiscuous relationship. And in the case of grape, the Muslim sister and Candace were both correct if we keep it Islamic, as under Sharia law, under the circumstances of grape, a woman is permitted to have an abortion before the 4th month of a pregnancy. Also under Sharia law, a Muslim woman who has suffered this horrible violation is permitted to keep the baby without being forced to get rid of it, should she wish to. The Prophet, peace be upon him, stated, "Every newborn is born in a state of fitrah," meaning every child is born as a Muslim. Islam views the practice of abortion as equal to taking the life of another human being. However, under the condition that a mother's life or health is being jeopardized by giving birth, Islam grants greater rights to the mother and makes it permissible under these circumstances, even if it is after the 4th month period. Let's roll the clip.
I don't know if it's stupid to say I'm neutral about pro-life or pro-choice.
It's not stupid at all.
Because I know that the person that I have a baby with will be my husband. But because not everybody has the same morals and the same principles as I do, and due to free will, people will have premarital sex. So wouldn't it be better for the child's sake and happiness to not be born at all, and then to have a deadbeat father and a promiscuous mother, or even when rape happens? Like, personally, if I was a kid and I know that my mom was raped and my dad is the rapist, like, yeah, I would be sad. Like, I wouldn't want to be here. So what does it truly mean to be pro-life? Like, are you pro-rape? Are you pro, like... Sorry.
It's okay, guys. Let her ask the question.
Not like that.
I think it's totally fine for you to ask the question. Go ahead, finish.
Because I'm all for, like, family values, but having a child raised like that, what type of family value is that?
Okay, great question. Thank you for asking it. I used to be pro-choice, and so I want to first acknowledge what you're saying, because one of the things that the left is really great at is arguing in extremes, right? The most extreme scenario, rather than addressing the fact that 99% of the abortions that we're dealing, 99.9% of the abortions that we're dealing with are not in those circumstances at all, and it's just people that are having promiscuous sex and wanting to get rid of their children because they're not prepared to be parents. So I first want to say that to argue into the extremes is not productive, because as a government you have to rule to create policies that are good for the majority of people. You're never going to get it perfect, but the majority of people. The second thing that I want to speak to is you saying that you don't think it's, that situation that you would want to be born into. Well, I have done a lot of work with pro-life charities, and they have had people who were the children of rape scenarios, and they're glad to be alive. So it's not our decision to say whether or not someone's life is valuable. In order to hear what they think, they kind of have to be born, right? And the last thing that I'll say, as somebody who was raised in not the greatest circumstances and who came from a broken family, I sure as hell am glad that I was born. So thank you so much for your question. I totally understand it.
I have to say that I agreed with Candace Owens when she said that the reason the majority of Western women are pro-abortion is because of their promiscuous lifestyle. And I must say, from an Islamic perspective, if we took away that right, especially because as Muslims we believe this is the equivalent of taking a living person's life, it would cure a lot of ills in the West. Having promiscuous physical relationships outside of wedlock is damaging to a woman's mental and physical health and gives them a free pass to behave like degenerates. This is not freedom, it's disguised oppression, as in the long run this is destructive for women. Once again, the niqabi sister saying she is neutral on the matter of abortion in regards to haram relationships is not in accordance with Islamic law, and I must say I respectfully disagree with the sister on this. Muslims should never be pro-abortion, as it is forbidden in our religion and encourages women to act like prostitutes. My next statement might shock some people, even Muslims. My personal views align with Candace's, as I don't think women that have been raped, God forbid, should have abortions either, because it is still a human life, and at least a shred of good would have come out of something as evil as rape, which I condemn completely. Now don't get me wrong, I totally understand if a woman wants to get an abortion after such a disgusting and damaging thing that has happened to her. And like I said, in Islam, under these circumstances, women can do so. This is just my personal opinion on the matter, and is in no way a judgment on any woman who has fallen victim to such a horrible act. I'll leave you with some quotes from our holy scriptures. The Holy Quran states, "Do not slay your children out of poverty. We will provide for you and them. Indeed, ruined are those who slay their children out of senseless ignorance. It is a great sin." Thank you for watching. Make sure to join my free Telegram group via the link in the description, where we as Muslims can speak freely and without censorship about issues like this, and in order to guide and support each other in our deen. Or if you have more serious personal issues you need help with, please feel free to book a call with me. And remember to like, subscribe and become a channel member for access to exclusive content. Until next time, inshallah, Jazakallah khair.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.